The Social Security payments millions of Americans depend on could vanish overnight on January 1st, 2026. Not a reduction, not a delay. A complete halt that could leave retirees, disabled workers, and surviving spouses scrambling to pay their bills. This isn't some far-fetched doomsday scenario. It's the stark warning coming directly from the Social Security Administration's latest report. They finally admitted what financial experts have been desperately trying to tell us. The trust fund is depleting faster than anyone predicted. In just a matter of months, nearly 70 million Americans could see their benefits slashed by up to 24%. But here's what the mainstream media isn't telling you. There's still time to protect yourself and your family from this looming crisis. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the exact steps you need to take right now to ensure your retirement stays secure, no matter what happens to Social Security. And trust me, this isn't the same recycled advice you've heard before. These are powerful strategies that less than 4% of Americans know about, but they could mean the difference between a comfortable retirement and financial disaster. Before we dive deep into this crucial information that could save your retirement, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let's get right to the heart of this crisis. The Social Security Administration has officially announced that without legislative intervention, they'll only be able to pay about 76 cents on the dollar for all benefits starting in early 2026. This isn't speculation, it's straight from their own actuarial reports. Think about that for a moment. If you're currently receiving $2,000 monthly in Social Security benefits, you could suddenly find yourself getting just $1,520. That's a $480 monthly cut that most Americans simply can't afford, especially with inflation already eating away at our purchasing power. But why is this happening now? The answer lies in a perfect storm that's been brewing for decades. Baby boomers are retiring in record numbers, about 10,000 per day. Meanwhile, there are fewer workers paying into the system for each beneficiary. In 1960, there were 5.1 workers for every Social Security recipient. Today, that ratio has plummeted to just 2.8 workers, and it's still dropping. Add in the massive economic disruptions from the pandemic, surprising inflation rates, and slower wage growth, and you've got a system that's running out of money faster than anyone expected. Now, you might be thinking, surely Congress won't let this happen, right? And normally, you'd be correct. Politicians typically swoop in at the last minute to fix major crises. But here's where things get really concerning. We're heading into a pivotal election year, and both parties are more divided than ever on how to fix Social Security. Some want to raise the retirement age, others want to increase payroll taxes, and still others want to change how benefits are calculated. But they can't agree on which path to take, and time is running out. Here's the most shocking part. Even if Congress does act, the changes they make could still leave millions of Americans with reduced benefits or higher taxes. That's why waiting for a political solution is the absolute worst thing you can do right now. Instead, you need to take control of your own financial future, and I'm about to show you exactly how to do that. Let's talk about the 5 critical steps you need to take right now to protect yourself. The first and most important step is understanding exactly where you stand with Social Security. Do you know your estimated benefit amount? Most Americans don't, and that's a huge mistake. Pull up your Social Security statement right now. You can do it online at ssa.gov. This number is your starting point for everything else we're about to discuss. The second step involves creating what I call a Social Security gap plan. This is a detailed strategy to cover any potential shortfall in your benefits. For example, if you're expecting $2,000 monthly in benefits, you need to plan for a potential $480 cut. That means finding ways to either reduce your expenses by that amount or, better yet, generate additional income to cover the gap. But here's where most people make a critical mistake. They focus solely on cutting expenses rather than building additional income streams. Think about it. You can only cut so much from your budget, but there's no limit to how much additional income you can create. And I'm not talking about getting a part-time job at Walmart. I'm talking about strategic investments and passive income sources that can actually grow over time. This brings us to step 3, diversifying your retirement income sources. The old model of relying primarily on Social Security and maybe a 401k is dangerously outdated. You need what I call the triple shield strategy, a combination of traditional retirement accounts, passive income streams, and inflation-protected investments. Let me break this down for you because this is where things get really interesting. Think about your retirement income like a three-legged stool. Social Security is just one leg, and right now, that leg is wobbling. The second leg is your traditional retirement accounts, your 401ks, IRAs, and any pension you might have. But it's the third leg that most people completely overlook, and it's becoming more crucial than ever: alternative income streams that aren't tied to the stock market or government benefits. These alternative streams might include rental property income, dividend-paying stocks, or even small business ventures you can run from home. The key is to start building these streams now before you actually need them. And here's a little-known fact: many of these income sources actually become more valuable during times of economic uncertainty, exactly when Social Security might be facing cuts. Now, you might be wondering, isn't it too late to start building these income streams if the Social Security crisis is coming in 2026? Absolutely not. In fact, some of the most effective strategies I'm about to share can start generating income within 6-12 months. The key is knowing exactly which opportunities to pursue and, just as importantly, which ones to avoid. Step 4 involves what I call crisis-proofing your existing investments. This is crucial because when Social Security benefits get cut, many people instinctively make desperate investment decisions that only make their situation worse. You need to review your investment portfolio now and make sure it's positioned to weather this coming storm. This might mean adjusting your asset allocation, increasing your exposure to inflation-protected securities, or exploring alternative investments that aren't correlated with traditional markets. Let me share a real example that illustrates why this is so important. One of my viewers, let's call her Mary, followed this exact strategy when I first started warning about the Social Security crisis last year. She repositioned her portfolio to include a mix of dividend-paying stocks, Series I savings bonds, and a small rental property. When inflation spiked unexpectedly this year, her monthly income actually increased, while many of her friends saw their purchasing power decline. That's the power of proper preparation. The fifth and final step is creating what I call your benefit maximization strategy. This involves making sure you're getting every dollar you're entitled to from Social Security, both now and in the future. Did you know that the difference between the best and worst claiming strategies can amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime? Yet most Americans spend more time planning their next vacation than they do planning their Social Security claiming strategy. Here's something that might surprise you. Even if benefits do get cut in 2026, there are still ways to maximize what you receive. It all comes down to understanding the complex rules around claiming ages, spousal benefits, and how different types of income affect your benefits. I'm going to share some of these strategies with you, but first, let me tell you why this information is more valuable than ever. The Social Security Administration's own data shows that fewer than 4% of Americans optimize their claiming strategy. This means 96% of people are potentially leaving money on the table, money they've earned and deserve. In fact, the average household loses around $111,000 in lifetime Social Security benefits simply because they don't understand how the system works. That's money that could make the difference between a comfortable retirement and constant financial stress. Now, let's talk about some specific strategies you can use to maximize your benefits, even in the face of potential cuts. The first thing you need to understand is the relationship between your claiming age and your benefit amount. Every year you delay claiming Social Security between age 62 and 70 increases your benefit by about 8%. This means if you can hold off until age 70, your monthly benefit will be 76% higher than if you claimed at 62. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is something very few people understand. Even if benefits get cut by 24% in 2026, you could still come out ahead by using the right claiming strategy. Let me show you how this works with a real-world example. Consider someone who's eligible for a $2,000 monthly benefit at full retirement age of 67. If they claim early at 62, they'll get about $1,400. If they wait until 70, they'll get about $2,480. Now, if benefits get cut by 24% in 2026, those numbers would become $1,064 and $1,885 respectively. That's still a difference of $821 per month, or nearly $10,000 per year. Over a 20-year retirement, that's almost $200,000 in additional benefits. But maximizing your claiming age is just one piece of the puzzle. There are other strategies that can help protect your benefits from potential cuts. For example, did you know that certain types of income can make your Social Security benefits taxable? Understanding these rules and structuring your retirement income properly can save you thousands in unnecessary taxes. Here's another strategy that few people know about. If you're married, there are sophisticated claiming strategies that can maximize benefits for both spouses. These strategies become even more important if benefits get cut because they can help ensure that at least one spouse receives a higher benefit amount. Now, I know this might all seem overwhelming. You might be thinking, this is all great information, but where do I start? That's exactly why I've created a comprehensive action plan that breaks everything down into simple, manageable steps. But before I share that with you, let me tell you why taking action now is absolutely crucial. The Social Security crisis isn't just about the potential benefit cuts in 2026. It's about the entire retirement landscape changing dramatically. We're entering an era where traditional retirement planning rules no longer apply. The strategies that worked for our parents' generation simply won't cut it anymore. Think about this. When Social Security was created in 1935, the average life expectancy was 61 years. Today, it's nearly 79 years. That means the system is paying benefits for much longer than it was ever designed to do. Add in the demographic challenges we talked about earlier, and it's clear that the system needs major changes to remain sustainable. But here's the good news. By taking action now, you can position yourself to thrive regardless of what happens with Social Security. The strategies we've discussed today aren't just about protecting yourself from benefit cuts. They're about creating a more secure and prosperous retirement overall. Let me wrap this up by sharing one final thought. Throughout history, the people who thrive during times of economic change aren't necessarily the wealthiest or the most educated. They're the ones who see change coming and take action early. Right now, you have the opportunity to be one of those people. The Social Security crisis of 2026 is coming, whether we like it or not. But by taking action now, you can turn this challenge into an opportunity to build a stronger, more secure retirement. The strategies we've discussed today are just the beginning. In future videos, we'll dive deeper into each of these topics and explore even more ways to protect and grow your retirement income. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this crucial issue. What steps are you taking to prepare for potential Social Security changes? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and share this video with friends and family who need to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest strategies for protecting your retirement. Until next time, this is Channel Name, reminding you that the best time to prepare for tomorrow is today.